So today I'm gonna tell you a story about how I ducked the rope at a basin, flipped upside down, like this much upside down, and then just ran for my life. Story time with Mike. Boop. So I started skiing when I was 4 years old. My dad used to be a ski instructor at Winter Park in Colorado. I grew up in California until I was 8, so we would go to like Heavenly and Squaw and stuff like that. You know, we were pretty good skiers. Dad knew how to teach us, so it just kind of worked out. But you know when you're a kid and you just like, you think you're the coolest, so you're just trying to ski everything. That's kind of what happens and what got me into this situation here. So fast forward, and I am living in Colorado now, and we used to go to a basin. Basically my favorite places out here in order: Breckenridge, a basin, Keystone. You know, obviously went up there a lot, but one year in particular, one time in particular I should say, we went up to a basin, and it was right after we watched a Warren Miller film. I don't know what it was. It might have been 50. 50 is like my favorite Warren Miller film, not for a specific reason, but because it was like one of the ones I remember the most, and it being awesome. You know, they're going in all this backcountry stuff, and it's awesome and epic. So I was like 12 years old at this point. 12-year-old me is like, I've got to do that, you know? And the back bowl up at a basin was closed down. I used to go do that all the time. It must have been kind of early in the season, I don't know, so we were just kind of going on the front face. So my dad wanted to take a picture of my sister and I. So we get down probably, you know, a quarter of the way down, third of the way down or something. He pulls us over to the side. He pulls out his camera. Not his phone, because, you know, we didn't have that back then. And that makes me sound old, but, you know, not really. I mean, phones, like, this is like the past 10 years, so, I mean, less than that, like the past 5 years, it seems like. Regardless, he pulls his camera out. Boom. He takes a picture of Michelle and I, my sister. This is going to be the representation. So, puts the camera away, looks up, I'm gone. He goes, where'd Mike go? And Michelle just goes, He's like, what do you mean, where did Mike go? And he just sees tracks going directly behind me. It's like I just snaked out. I was like, and just going straight down under the rope in some like roped off restricted section. You know, he's instantly pissed. He told Michelle, he's like, get down to the bottom, I'm gonna grab your brother, me at the bottom. Now we're gonna flip over to me after I go down this area. I'm not really sure exactly where I was or what it was like. I remember taking a couple turns and going up, and I was about to go down this like weird cornice thing and being like, that's friggin' steep, and tried to stop and then fell over upside down. So I'm upside down, and here, let me show you how upside down I was, one sec. So basically like this upside down, you know, like pretty upside down. Does my face feel chubby? I feel like my face looks chubby. And being that upside down as like a 12-year-old kid is kind of freaky, especially when you don't want to be that upside down and you're not quite sure what to do. So I'm inverted. I'm screaming. I'm like, Dad, help. I'm gonna die. This is the end of my life and everyone is gonna be sad. Please help me. He hears me and he ends up at the bottom of this like cornice thing, and he looks up at me and he's just like, I was like, come up here. And he is like, I'm not gonna come up there because I'll just like kick it loose and start an avalanche or something, and you'll just be stuck in it. Now you've got to flip yourself over and get down here. So it takes a second, you know, of a kid courage. And I flip myself over. I skied down, and Dad's trying to get me to like stop. You know, he's like, he wants me to stop right in front of him and deal with it right then. 12-year-old me was like, no way. No way I'm getting out of here. I skied past him, jumped back onto the slope, and just hauled as fast as I've ever gone down the slope here. So as a kid, I never really went that fast. I was kind of afraid to go fast because I didn't want to hit trees and stuff. So I would, you know, just go at a normal speed, you could say. You know, I was never that kid bombing it down the mountain. But this particular day, I was that kid bombing it down the mountain, not turning at all. And it was because behind me was some dude trying to kill me. It was my dad, of course, and he wasn't literally trying to kill me, but you know, pretty sure he was trying to kill me. So I bomb it down the mountain, get to the bottom, and I'm running away from him so much to the point where I like undo my boots, you know, or undo my bindings, get out, and I just start running. And I get about like 3 steps in before he just comes up behind me and grabs me and literally just like picks me up. And I don't quite know where I was running to. Like I think in my 12-year-old mind, you know, 12-year-old me was just trying to run to the road as fast as he could and throw himself in front of the first bus he could find. because that would honestly have been better than what Dad was gonna do to me. He grabbed me, you know, I guess potentially saved my life. Thanks, Dad. No buses got any flies on them today. Literally just like starts yelling at me in front of everybody. He's not the type of guy who's going to, you know, try and be under the radar with like, you know, disciplining your kids or something. He literally pulled the car over one time. He only had to do it once, but he pulled the car over once and it was not good. So he grabs me and yells at me in front of everybody, takes my skis, takes my poles, you know, goes to the car, throws them in there. He puts me at the lodge and just says, "You're staying here for the rest of the day. Michelle and I are gonna go ski." He might have thrown me in the car, I'm really not sure. I know that I wasn't allowed to have any more fun that day though. And he wasn't gonna waste a trip up there and just, you know, go home either. And I was definitely not going to go back to the car and grab my stuff. First of all, I didn't have a key, and second of all, I didn't want to die even more. Like, I don't think you can, you know, die twice, but I wasn't gonna find out, and I'm pretty sure he would be able to do it if he could. So after the whole day got finished up with, we got home. For my punishment, I'm pretty sure I'm still grounded. To this day, I actually have to write in a journal every single night saying, "I will not be a dumbass. I will not be a dumbass," 10 times every night before I go to bed. No, what actually happened was he took my pass away, took my skis away, took my poles, you know, took all my gear away, and then grounded me for about like 2 weeks or like a month where I wasn't allowed to do anything. Obviously, I had to do the whole mow the lawn every day that summer, you know, type deal. Every single day with a pair of scissors, but you know, I learned not to do that. And then he explained to me, he was like, "Hey, idiot, guess what? There's a reason why that's roped off, because you're in an area where if you didn't weigh like 90 pounds like I did at the time, or like 77 pounds, if you would have been at the top, it could have been a slide, you know, and it wasn't too much snow. It was enough snow to maybe bury me definitely and injure myself, probably not anyone else, but there's a reason why it's roped off. And it doesn't matter how many Warren Miller movies I like or how many I watch. Don't do that, you idiot." And that was basically, you know, what he said to me. So yeah, ever since that day, I listened to the rules of the mountain because, you know, I will not be a dumbass. I will not be a dumbass. I try to not be a dumbass anymore. So yeah, so that was the time that I ducked the rope, ended up upside down, and then just ran for my life. There we go. Hey, if that was kind of a fun story, I like doing these story things, so I'll probably do them once a week at least. Maybe on Fridays. I don't know. It could, yeah, on Fridays. Why not? If you like that, just tell me you like it. Tell me if you want to hear anything else kind of funny. And later, alligator.